Okay, I have to laugh a little bit because if you don't know, they just announced today that Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green are coming to Nintendo Switch, and they cost $20 a piece. Now that's a lot of people up in the air right now because Pokemon fans have talked about how Generation 1 has too many remakes or they keep going back to it too much. But knowing that this is the 30-year anniversary of Pokemon, and the fact that these games are what started it all, obviously the original Red and Blue did, but the fact that Fire Red and Leaf Green are the definitive remakes of the first Pokemon game, I'm seeing a lot of uproar online. And it kind of reminds me that, like, the internet is so fake anyways, because all these people are complaining about the fact that we got a Pokemon Fire Red, Leaf Green, $20 a piece. It's not part of the GBA edition online, and that there's no online play. Now, I think a valid critique is of the online play, because I think that would have been a nice feature, just being able to at least just play with the people on your friends list, right? I don't need full Wi-Fi battles or anything like that, but having the ability to, like, play with my friend who's not in the same room with me, yes, that is a sting on this game. But $20 for these games, for me, is actually not ridiculous. Especially in comparison to a lot of other practices I've seen, even from Game Freak or like Nintendo themselves. So this $20 price tag, I don't think that's the biggest problem. But my bigger problem is, like, what do y'all want? What more do you want from me? What do Pokemon fans want? Once again, their internet's fake. So the internet people talk about how they've been wanting Nintendo Switch online games, or the GBA versions and all the old DS versions, all the previous generations up until what, Gen 5, want them re-released on the Nintendo Switch. And we've gotten a piece of that, starting with Fire Red and Leaf Green. And it's met by nothing but, like, anger and complaint. And then I see, like, the worst argument that you can ever give on why they release a game the way it is the fact that you can emulate it. I love emulation. On my phone that I'm recording this from right now, I have RetroArch, I have games, I have ROM hacks. I love emulation. I have the Retroid, the Miyu Mini. I love emulation. I've streamed games that I've emulated. I love emulation. But that is not an argument for the reason why a game isn't where it should be. Because a lot of people, one, don't know about emulation. Two, don't, whether they morally or ethically agree, they may not agree on emulation. And three, there is a different feeling that people never talk about when you emulate a game versus, like, purchasing it or playing it on original hardware. Obviously, this is not original hardware. But there's a different feeling of playing, let's say, we're just going to say Pokemon, right? Playing Pokemon on my computer doesn't feel right, doesn't hit the same at all, as opposed to playing it on my Retroid handheld device, or in this case maybe the Switch, or even better, my Game Boy Advance. Like, it feels like a completely different game because the experience was made to be catered towards the Game Boy Advance, right? Or a smaller portable system. So I just find it funny that, like, people try and make that argument about emulation, and that argument just, no, that's the one argument you can't make. You think the mother in her 30s buying it for her kids, or mother in her 40s, whatever, buying it for her kids, knows about emulation? No. She's just buying it because she knows the kids like Pokemon. So I just think that's a really stupid argument in general. But once again, what do y'all want? What really do y'all want? Nothing. Y'all don't want nothing. Y'all just want to complain. Pokemon fan base, and I'm calling out Sonic fan. Between Pokemon and Sonic, all y'all do is just complain about nothing and everything, and then you don't get anything. So then all you do is just sit in the forums and complain about Pokemon, knowing damn well you play every single Pokemon game, you play the ROM hacks, you do all this stuff, you do all the speed runs and the Iron Man runs and all this stuff, and complain about it. So that being said, if you want to get Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green for the Switch, you go ahead and do that.